Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Idea Studio, Bangkok. I'm Dana.
I'm Chip.
As always, this is our weekend live stream where we jump in, we talk to the community about what's going on, what we're doing in Bangkok, what's happening in Bangkok, what's new. So you can see we've rearranged the modern art masterpiece behind us that is the shoe design. We have a few extra pairs with us currently as well, and we'll get into that. So, Jim, how's your week with art at the academy and everything going on?
So chill out this year.
Yeah?
I feel like I can live my life
Oh.
as teacher, busy with the first year
Mm-hmm.
as I was before. So it's like busy, and then he just let us paint. So I just paint the color on the monk fan
Oh,
and
your mic was off.
ow,
So, you can start over
ow.
again, babe.
So this
Oh, yeah,
is
and right as I turn it up, Chris jumps in.
yeah.
I was recording a podcast earlier this week, so I always have to shut Jibs off.
This is how you stop me from speaking.
So, tell us again, how's your week going at the Royal Academy?
It's chill out.
Yeah?
So our teacher keep busy with the first year student. So we have separate table,
Mm-hmm.
just a second year. So we just some draw, some paint. Like for me, I'm paint the color on the monk fan.
Okay.
And finally, he approved for the first side that I finished the painting. Just fix something,
Nice.
and he said it's okay. This one he let it pass.
Very
So now
cool.
I'm working on the second. So should finish soon, like this week, I believe.
Nice, nice.
So it's just chill out. I feel like I'm like a happier, let's say, because like sometimes it's just okay, just left a piece at school because it take time to come home and then I have to stop at the market and then cook. So it's not gonna be like a lot of time to paint. So I think okay, today I'm not gonna paint. Just like leave it at school and like cook for family.
Nice.
So I think I have more time to take care of you. That's the thing.
Oh, to take care of me?
And Jam too.
Like I'm a big baby? You have to take
No, I
care of
could
me?
just cook for you.
I do appreciate that you're cooking and you're getting better. Always a positive thing. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. I just want to run through before we get too deep into our topics for today. We got Joe, as always. Joe, thank you very much. Our channel member and patron, Joe, thank you so much, brother. Hefe, my main pizza guy. We'll get a pizza story for today as well, Hefe, so you'll be happy. Of course, I think we get a pizza story every week because I eat pizza every week. But yeah, there's a good pizza story this week. Chris, of course, running the audio for us as always, keeping it checked. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, Maretta, how are you? Good to see you here. Kione, aloha, brother. What's going on? Saw you yesterday. We got to hang out. Probably see you again today. I'll ping you if we head to that spot. Eric, how's things, my friend? Paul Apps, what's going on, man? You make it back to stateside? I ran into Paul at Paula. Jib cooking in the same sentence.
What's that mean?
This is true. Well, we've often talked about your ability to burn water.
Yeah, I know. So is that the word sentence mean like it's a judgment or it's like it's that meaning, right?
No, he's just saying like, let's see where this goes.
Because it's that one doesn't mean like the one line of the words, right? Like
Paul, you missing Paula Pizza back in the States? I don't know what the pizza situation's like where you're at, but I'm assuming it's not Paula level. No, Chris was just saying like,
I want to know the meaning of that
no,
word.
he said like jib and cooking in the same sentence is a rare thing. Joe says let Jam cook.
No.
No, definitely not.
No. She burned eggs.
Oh, Callum, what's up, brother? How's that tattoo study going, Jip?
One thing, like a first year guy, the one guy, he was a monk, and he's a monk who do a tattoo.
Oh,
old style tattoo, like with the long stick,
Sakyan.
like real thing, and he can read and write the com alphabet. So I will learn from him. Like, okay, teach me.
So we're gonna have to. Does he speak English?
I don't know.
If he does, let's
He
try.
live in just like around Bang Na.
Oh, we're gonna have to have like an interview with him if he can do some English.
I can.
Could be cool
Okay,
profile video.
well,
A
I
former
can ask
monk
him
who
tomorrow.
used to do sakyans. What do you guys think? Paul says pizza in Idaho not fantastic.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, most places in America, honestly, once you get off the coast north of the Mason-Dixon line on the east, it's not really great pizza.
Is he the guy who eat alone in Pala and say
No,
hi to
different
you?
guy. He came in one day when I was in there and to say
Okay.
hi. I was in there on a Saturday with some guys from work.
Different.
Stuck 2 years. Our first guy to hit 2 years. Oh, Joe also 2 years. We got two guys in for 2 years.
Oh,
Nice.
I can't believe that we do this for 2 years
Right?
already.
They've got the badge. I think we've been streaming more than 2 years, maybe.
I
Not
don't
sure.
know.
Maybe not much longer. But hey, guys, thank you very much, guys.
Maybe
2
you
years
do,
of
but I did
support.
not.
Oh, it doesn't pop up on the chat when I click it, but if you look, it doesn't come on the screen. But if you look in the chat, it actually says like 2 year, 24 months, which is awesome. Eric says yes. Interview the monk.
Oh, into the monk. Let me find his photo because like when we add to I don't have his photo.
Callum says pizza in New Zealand is patchy at best.
What's
There are some
patchy?
exceptional places, but not the norm. Patchy means like not like a little, one here, one there, one
Oh
there.
no, it's not stick together. One piece.
Keone says that'd be it. All right, it looks like right now everyone's like, yeah, would love to see the interview.
But now he's student. He's not monk, nah.
Yeah, he used to be a monk, former monk.
Yeah.
Birthday twins, adorable. Joe and Stock.
Oh,
Yeah, yesterday I caught up with Gator Jake as well. I was out with Keone, out with my son. Some of you guys who have seen on Instagram might know my son Talay is here from the U.S. Visiting. He'll be with me until the 24th. Anyone who's in Bangkok on the 18th, we're going to Top Dojo Pro Wrestling. If you want to come check it out, here is the photo of the monk doing tattoos. It's kind of blown out, shiny, but
so
that's the monk that Jib knows
so we
doing tattoos.
when like our old student going to the group, I would like to see the photo of everyone because we wear marks in school, like 100% marks. So like check the photos, like I feel like this guy he was a monk, and then I talked to my friend. They're like, no, he must be the guy who sit in front of the monk doing tattoo on him. I was like, I think he is the monk. Like, no way. And then one day we asked, on your photo, are you the monk or are you the guy in front of monk? Like, he's like, that's me. Like, I'm a monk. Like,
Nice.
oh, you see, like he
So I
used the
think
long one.
we're gonna have to do this question, this interview.
Yes. And now this is how he looked.
With big lips like that,
Yeah,
or is that filter?
yeah.
Okay, he looks like a monk who would have done tattoos. So how do you get into the palace if he's covered in tattoos?
Oh, he wears shirt. It's
Oh.
cover.
Okay.
But for you, cannot because now it's
All
long
the
to
way.
your.
Oh yeah, and they wear short sleeve.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. You guys say who's better cook, Dana, Jib, or Jam?
Dana. He cook beef.
Sometimes.
His beef is the best. Like when he cooks steak, it's like, oh my god, so good. But the bad thing is he cannot taste it.
Well, yesterday we got for today we're at Don Donkey at MBK, and we got him a Wagyu skewer. He had never had Wagyu before.
Huh?
Yeah,
I thought beef is common in
beef,
US.
but not Wagyu beef. And
Why?
it's very, very expensive in Ohio for Wagyu. Like Ohio beef is
okay.
cheap, but
Okay.
he said it was the best beef he ever had.
Okay, let's take him to Shabu
Shabu?
buffet.
Okay. And then yesterday I took him to Pala. So I took my son for the first time ever to Pala Pizza. It was funny because one of the waitresses who's been there for since Jib and I started going there 8 years ago, and been there the whole time. She knows Jib.
8 years.
8 years, and she'll always talk to Jib about her art and ask her what she's working on. And so we went in, and she was like, "Oh, who's this?" I was like, "Oh, my son." She's like, "Oh." And so he said he could eat. Like you said, he doesn't eat a lot. It's funny because I asked him like, "Oh, did you like the rice?" Because Jib said you didn't finish it. He's like, "Oh, I ate what was on my plate." I was like, "Oh, you could have had more." He's like, "Oh, okay."
I don't know. I feel like, oh, is it enough? Like, yeah, I'm good. I'm full. It's like, oh, you can eat more chicken because he finished his rice. And I order like separate thing. It's like, it's not just rice on top of, chicken on top of rice.
Yeah.
So I order 3 rice.
Ah.
And then I order big chicken,
Ah.
like to share.
Yeah.
So, because I know that my girl eat a lot.
Yeah.
And probably your son too. So it's like, okay, let me order a big one. It's like, oh, tonight are you sure that you're full? Like you can eat more chicken here. Like don't worry. It's like, because Jam eats slow. It's like, oh, Jam not eating. Like she didn't finish it, and me it was like, it's okay. We didn't eat that much. You can have more chicken. He's like, no, it's okay. It's good.
So we took him to Pala. He had
How many slices?
He had one slice of marinara,
Yeah.
but then he ate a calzone. So and the calzone at Pala is huge.
But not that huge. I can finish it, too.
Yeah. But I mean, after a slice,
Just a slice.
he did say
Maybe.
Paula best pizza he ever had.
Oh,
So
he's your
facts,
son.
Definitely facts.
So he's your son for sure.
It's funny because it really is good. I mean, he's had pizza in Rhode Island, Ohio. That's probably it. Maybe stopped in Connecticut or something, had pizza. But, you know, like I don't know if he's ever had like New Haven pizza, but he definitely had Rhode Island pizza because he spends a lot of time in Rhode Island with his other extended family on my side. So, and not a lot of time, but summers usually. So like he does get to eat pizza there, which I think some pizza in Rhode Island is really good, but I think he probably is not getting like the prime pizza because usually the people he's visiting are like outside the city.
Okay.
So he's getting like the bottom half of the pizza totem pole at the pizza leaderboard at Rhode Island.
So it's like good pizza, like in the city, the
Yeah.
big city. You have to go there.
Like you start to get further and further away
So like
from
if
the
we live
capital.
in Sukhumvit, it's fine. But
Yeah.
if we live in my mom's area, it's like, yeah, not much.
No, it'd be more like
like
if
that.
we live in Samut Prakan.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
You see, do you still have? I do have a spot out in the garden. I could put an outdoor pizza oven for sure. Get some coal fire pizza going.
It's small, Joe. It's a small space, but it's brick and concrete, maybe.
Yeah, so you could put one small pizza oven out there,
How small? When you say small, I'm not how small.
like for a 12-inch.
But how big for the oven?
No, like just slightly bigger than the 12-inch. You gotta contain that heat. You gotta trap the thermal energy, Jib. You need to get that crisp. Oh, Joe's gonna do the oven.
Huh? Oh, you were gonna do it? Okay.
Hefe knows from the one bite review. If it's not filled with seniors, walk out. Twins Pizza, yeah, that was the Twins Pizza review. And I grew up literally down the street from that pizza place, Hefe. Like a 10-minute walk at most. And it's true, if that place has since I was a kid, 40 years ago, that place has been packed with seniors. That's like only people who eat there. Like, it's legit.
So you started to eat pizza when you were 5?
4? Yeah. Maybe younger than that. Huh? We'll have to sell one bike to fit the oven. No. The bikes stay in the garage. Garden's a separate area.
That's a good idea, Chris.
Keone has the uni oven in Hawaii. Oh, how does that work, the uni? I see it's a gas oven, right? Or they have a wood version as well, I think. Does it get hot enough to make like a crispy, like New Haven style, or it's just a Neapolitan oven, I think? It's more of like that wood fire, style. Where I'd want to get like, I I want to get one that could go like super crisp. Or I have to
Like Yanni?
maybe I'd have to do the Yanni's Neapolitan style. Like if you don't eat it super fresh, it gets floppy.
Oh, okay.
Whereas like if you have a coal fire or like a New York style oven, you can get it a little bit crispier, cook it a little longer, develop the undercarriage a bit more.
So you want to build a brick oven
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the garden?
Yeah,
Let me move my tree pot first.
yeah.
Don't hurt the white flower one.
Okay.
That one,
Okay.
most important in this house. Anything can die except that one.
So need like 1 meter by 1.3 meters.
It's just gonna be center of the garden, then be done. Seriously, if you're gonna do that.
1 by 1.3 for a 12-inch pie. Okay. We can work with that.
Are you serious?
Maybe not. So, Maretta, thank you so much for the super chat.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I like that emoji. It's a game
it's a
controller.
game.
Yeah, gamepad.
Oh, I miss the old time I used two hands because now with the phone it's just one hand. And
Just
it hurts
swipe.
Yeah.
So, any of you guys see Chris's newest video about his daughter getting robbed on Soy 15? Have you guys seen that? And he said it's his first negative video about Thailand, but in retrospect, it's definitely not a negative video. He's talking about a single experience that his daughter had, and kind of letting people know. Marita says, "Can you get pizza for this one?" Absolutely, Marita. Thank you so much. Oh, no, now it popped up. Thank you very much, Marita. We will definitely get some pizza for the fam with that. So yeah, saw that last night. Yeah, these guys all saw the video, saw it. So I want to talk about this because I left a comment that kind of started to get a lot of likes on his video. That one, it's unfortunate that it happened to her, but I'm really glad that his daughter didn't get hurt. Jib hasn't seen it yet, so they basically ripped her motorbike, rode by, ripped her purse off. It broke the strap. And I think she fell down, but like she was okay, and not a lot in the purse, so she didn't lose a lot. One of the things that I said was, glad she's okay. That's happened to me, not the motorbike thing, but I've encountered people attempting to rob me with violence 2 times.
Are they drunk?
So, we'll talk about you know about both of them.
Which one?
So the first one was the German guy, and the second one was the 2 Burmese guys.
I think the German guy.
He's high for sure.
And it's on BK's platform.
Yeah. But both times it didn't work out in their favor. Both times I negated it. Someone asked me to make a video about it, or someone asked me like in a comment to tell them what happened. And I want to preface this by saying, don't do what I did. Because, it's, make yourself safe for sure. Like try to be safe if you get into these situations. But also, like I've got to also realize, like when I talk about Bangkok being safe, it's safe for me. When you're a former pro fighter, ex-military, 1.85 meters tall and like 280 pounds.
Kilo?
Pounds.
Oh.
When you're my size and you have my background, safety's relative compared to what it is for Chris's daughter, who's incredibly petite. So it's a reminder for me that it feels safe to me because it is safe for me, but it may not be safe for everyone, right? And like not that, and I've always thought of Soy 15 as a very safe space, right? Like that whole area, it's usually very busy. She was coming back from a club at night, and I think normally like those types of snatch and grabs, they're out looking to do that, and they see an opportunity and they take it. If I was carrying a little shoulder bag, would they have tried the same thing with me? Probably not.
They will fall off the bike.
Yeah, probably. So, I wanna just put Joe say always better walk away. Yeah. 100%. I'll tell about the two experiences that happened with me. Was I was getting off the BTS, and a German guy who was young guy in his 20s, looked very strung out, was trying to snatch my phone away from me, and like kept trying to like snatch my phone, like aggressively. And on the BTS platform at Mochit, when I just got off, everyone's kind of walking down to the park, and was trying to snatch my phone, and was being real aggressive, following me. And so I turned around and I punched him one time, and he collapsed. And the security from the BTS was already rushing over at that point, and they ended up like so just taking him. They told me to go. And I don't know what happened to him after that. Probably took him to tourist police or something.
We'll take him to hospital.
Maybe. Maybe. I punched him in the chest just to get him away from me to make
Broken
space.
sternum.
And walked away. But he was like actively trying to grab my phone from me. And then another time I was out late after some watching some fights with some friends. And these two guys who I believe were Burmese, just based on hearing them talk, were trying to get aggressive with me, and sort of like similar situation. I made space for myself physically because there were two of them, and when I did that, when I moved the other one away from me, the other ran off, and then the other one got up and followed him. So, like, I was just trying to make space so I could get away, but it happened that it sort of positioned me in the way that I could just sort of move out because they figured that they had enough after that. So I wouldn't recommend that. But again, like seeing Chris's daughter's story reminds me that again, it's safe for me, and I know that you can handle yourself, and I'm not so worried about you either, but because I know you can small, but you can handle yourself. We both know.
Oh no.
You don't think so? You feel unsafe sometimes?
No, I'm small auntie.
Stop playing the victim card. Jib's legit can handle herself, but
Not really. If he come with knife.
true. I mean, I think our area is pretty good.
Yes.
I'm not too worried around here, but the reality is like we see that happen in
So
Site
it
15.
might be people from somewhere else. So people who really like work on that soil not gonna do it,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be someone else randomly go to that soil and commit a crime and then move to other area. That's
Yeah.
the thing. So I got caught at my toad once.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a nice tote too. The one you you made, right?
No, not that's before we
Oh.
go to sewing class. But like, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
And it's very big, like can put many things in it. It's like I remember those two guys, like bad smell of a cigarette, like they smoke a lot, and they tiny, like shorter than me, slim, like skinny. But as it's packed bus, he stand next to me because I have no place to move. Everyone like shoulder to shoulder like this, like. But I remember like smell so bad, like smoke a lot, two of them, and when they get off, it's like I still don't know what happened.
Yeah, they sliced her bag with a
Yeah,
razor.
I just find out like when I'm at condo, it's like what happened with my toe? It's like I try to think, did I hit anything that hard that make it sharp cut? And it's like that's must be one of that too. But so for the trick in Bangkok, I would like to come home before 9. That's a safe time. Later than that, not many people on the street like to help you. And it's quiet and it's not traffic, so like grab and run is like easy.
Yeah.
It happened to Beth one time too. She told me like someone like grabbed her phone. It's on Sukhumvit. And she like on her phone walk and talk, and like motorcycle come and like just get it from her hand. From Beth. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That's from Beth.
And Bev was Jib's jiu-jitsu trainer, and as well as like a former security specialist for Canadian Army and for World Bank and Bank of Asia. So like legit badass.
To teach me how
Yeah.
to protect myself.
One time when I was in Vietnam, someone tried to snatch my phone as well, and I was walking down the street, kind of like clicking through my phone, and someone just came up and tried to like snatch it, and they missed, and I kind of moved it away, and they were on a bike and they just drove off.
So like this is why I don't use the phone when I walk on the street, because then I have to share my focus on like phone and then what happened around me,
Yeah, same.
and like it can be a target.
Yeah.
Like people just drive past and grab it, and like if I walk on the footpath or on the street, I will move my purse to the other side, like next to the wall, if I can.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like this is what I always do when I go out.
I think for me the biggest thing, like Jim says, keep your focus, because when I've been like all the times that I sort of was engaged in that regard, even the one in Vietnam, the one with the two Burmese guys, and then the German guy, my focus was pulled. So maybe they do see that as an opportunity for
Yes.
something. The only other really sort of other two experiences that I've had that were similar but didn't escalate anywhere near as far was one, I was in a local shop, and the sort of like 3-deck went rushed into the shop while I was there and surrounded me. And I just turned to the biggest one, and like once I made eye contact, he just sort of like cowered away. And then they all sort of backed off, and I walked out without incident. But I was paying at the counter, and I saw out of the corner of my eye the three of them just all rush in, and they all kind of go in a different spot around the shop. And the shop's, you know the one I'm talking about. It's not big. Up here, the DV shop, as we call it. And they rolled in and were just sort of like all around me. Now, the biggest one of them was like a few centimeters shorter than Jib and just a chubby guy. And he had no shirt on either, which was very strange.
Yeah.
But they're all around me, and the other two were like tiny, tiny people. And so I turned left and faced right up with the biggest one who's trying to block the aisle for me to get out. And he just sees me, locks eyes with me for a second, and then just turns his head away and cowers and moves out of my way. And I just walked out and went home. But I've never been back to that shop since, because one, why risk it? And two, why give them my business if they let shit like that go down? And so, I mean, that was, that's like one of the times that like it got close. But yeah, I'm confident in myself that I could handle that. Maybe not everyone is. And then the other, at least maybe not handle it, but do enough damage to get away. Right? And then the other time recently, I parked my bike to go drop a package. I always lock my top box, and when I do anything, so I never leave it unlocked. It's just a habit. And I went in, and where this shop was, the Kerry Express that I was dropping package, I had to park on the side of the building and walk around. And, it's not like, this is the other thing, it's not like it wasn't visible. Like, there's a big wall of windows that I park in front of. All the bikes parked there. So I go in, I come out. As soon as I come out of the Kerry Express, I see this Grab driver posted up at the corner where I would turn to go. And he sees me, and he kind of like, because I was in and out so quick. I was literally in. I had my phone open. They scanned it right away, put the label on, and I walked out with my receipt. And he just kind of like was startled, and he turned and walked towards the bikes. I knew something was up. So I just sort of like double stepped it, like double timed it right over to him, to that corner. I turned the corner, and he's telling this other guy who's trying to get into my top box that I'm coming. And I walked right over to the guy, and he walked away, got on my bike and left. So like they were clearly trying to get into my bike, but other than that, like I've never had issue any like those all those instances happened over a 10-year period. And like I said, the ones where people actually were trying to physically rob me, my attention span was pulled in another direction. But I think no matter where you are in the world, like 95% of the places in the world, like if you're vigilant, pay attention, don't pull your focus, you're probably okay. And then there's 5% of the places in the world you're in danger just by being there. So, the things that you have to balance out. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind. And his daughter's story reminds me that not everyone feels as safe as me. Not everyone has the experience and background of me to stay safe.
So like as you said, everywhere in the world, right? So one of my former boss, she went to some country in Europe. I can't remember the name. And like she bring like cash for shopping for sure. And then like she said like there are like Western girls, don't know like what country, but like ask the direction from my boss, which is his Asian look, and they choose to ask her like for some place, and she like okay, talk to them, and then when she took the train, she find out like her cash gone. So that's in Europe. It's happened
I have a friend.
in daytime.
I have a friend in the U.S. He always used to wear like a ring on each hand.
Yeah.
And I remember he was in New York City, and this woman like came up to him and was like, "Oh, let me pray for you," and she grabbed his hands and she slipped his ring right off. He didn't know it.
So see, like everywhere, but you have to like, maybe be careful.
Hey, Nikki, what's going on?
So Joe said I'm a gangster.
Gangster. Auntie Jib is gangster. OG.
Joe, come here. I
OG
will show
gangster.
you.
Yeah, Joe says happens everywhere. Eric, I was in Bangkok, Mexico City, and now back in San Francisco this past year. I feel at least safe in SF. Yeah, I saw Marita
Really?
said
What
said the same thing. Where
happened?
was that? Yeah.
What happened?
Marita,
Yeah,
I saw.
yeah.
I thought I saw from Marita where she said San Francisco is the worst. Maybe it's further up. But yeah, I feel like I remember when I was in San Francisco, I would see cars with their windows smashed in. This is in 2016.
Oh,
And I saw on the news recently people just leave their windows down and their trunks open so people don't break into their car to show that there's
just
nothing
to
in
try
it.
to get something that's
Yeah.
not there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So I mean, it's again, like don't put yourself in bad situations if you can avoid it. Sometimes the bad situation finds you, right? That no question about that. But there are things you can always do to mitigate some of that. So keep that in mind. But yeah, overall, I mean, I feel horrible for his daughter. I'm gonna reach out to Chris and Adam today and be like, hey, just saw the video. Hope
Send
everything's
her
good.
to private class with Beb.
Right? Yeah, could send her
Maybe
for
makes you feel better.
more. Yeah, definitely. I think like it definitely helped you confidence wise after you went through training with Bev.
Yes.
And then training with Adam, and so. I mean, just having the ability to know that you can protect yourself at least some
At least
helps.
something.
And then, understanding how to improvise weapons as well is another thing that I think is important.
So I feel like if you have confidence, like they're not gonna see you as a target.
Yeah. There was a study about like criminals who identify targets, and one of the people that they avoid, there was something they called organized quality about the individuals that they would avoid. And I think in the Army, it's what we would call like someone who's squared away, right? Or like high speed, low drag individual, right? Like someone who's just looks put together. Regardless, big, small, whatever, the confidence, the understanding, everything that they're doing looks deliberate. I think those are the people that would be less likely to be chosen as a target, a random target, for the most part. Nikki, I saw you in the chat. Where's your Nikki? Melting in the UK. Is it hot in the UK? Glad to see you, Nikki. Thanks for swinging by.
Is it the spring in UK now?
Summertime.
Summer.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Or
hot.
end of spring,
Nice.
beginning. No, summer for sure. June, summer. Oh, sorry. Hey, Stuck. We were talking about Chris's daughter who got robbed. If you saw Chris's new video, and then we're talking about a few experiences that I've had that have happened.
The other day that I took MRT when I get changed at
Oh,
so
19 in the UK. That's not hot.
it's just 19, Nikki. It's just 19.
That would be winter here.
Here, we have to wear a sweater for 19. See,
That'd be winter here for sure.
yeah. So when I get changed at the MRT, I heard the staff talk to each other like, "Oh, that is a foreigner," because not look Thai. Like try to pickpocket Thai,
No.
and he know it. He knew it, and then he told the security, so they kind of like talk to each other through the radio, try to get that one. I don't know if they can find him or not, but
Hopefully.
it's like, see, like who commit that is not Thai.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think like, and to Eric's point, he says it's not so much the robbers, but like the crazy individuals. I think we don't have the same. So I'll talk about this for a second, because a lot of people in America who are homeless suffer from mental health issues, and also drug addiction. Right? So we'll talk about like people in the U.S. who, like I think if you're in L.A. or San Francisco, a lot of people who are homeless probably have some type of mental health disorder. They also have, did you just shut that off completely?
no, it's
okay.
26, no 25, too cold.
So I think, you know, a lot of people have the mental health issues in the U.S. if they're homeless, or drug issues, or both. And I would definitely feel unsafe, like say going through like Skid Row in the
What is
U.S. The Skid Row is an area where a lot of homeless people live.
It's the name of the road or the name of area?
It's just the name of the area.
Oh, okay.
And to Chris's point, Chris brought this up in his video. When people are homeless in the U.S., they're sort of seen as like this, like society has given up on them. There's no chance, and like that's it, right? They're done. And that's definitely not the case here so much in Thailand, where people they also take that energy and they do sort of segregate themselves from the rest of society when they're homeless in the U.S. Now, the homeless area here in Bangkok, the major one, is near Democracy Monument? Yeah, Democracy
Yeah.
Monument. What's the name of that road?
Ratchadamnern.
Ratchadamnam Road. And so at night, if you go there, it's just, and that's right near Khao San Road, by the way. So both sides of that road, if you're walking down the sidewalk, there's just homeless people sort of sleeping along the edges on this road. And like you'll see organizations, communities come there to feed people, give them food, you know, and there's some services, but I've never once felt unsafe walking through that area. Now, I don't know that Jib would necessarily want to walk that road at night by herself.
It.
Yeah. She would avoid it because she might not feel safe, and avoidance is the best strategy.
Yes, but
Now-
if I have to walk, I believe I can do it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
without anything, like
Yeah.
without any problem.
But you don't generally see like crazy individuals or people with mental health out there living. I don't know those individuals' situations, but it's definitely something that it feels different than the homeless situation in the U.S. And to Chris's point in his video, like in America, you would look at like a really impoverished or economically distressed, socially distressed area as dangerous. Here, while Klong Toy might not be the most crime-free area in Bangkok, you're by no means going to be at risk innately by going there. So it's different in the way that these areas operate, these communities feel safety-wise in the U.S. So just something to keep in mind. Overall, like, again, and I talk about avoidance. Soy 15 is not an area that I would have ever told someone to avoid for safety reasons. At all. So I think that also just shows that could happen anywhere. That could unfold at any point. So always be vigilant. That's the most important thing. Now I'll talk about another type of assault that happened on Friday night. I haven't even told you this story yet.
What happened?
So Friday night I was out shooting photos. Friday was the 1 year anniversary of the legalization of cannabis in Thailand. So there's a lot of events.
Oh, already 1 year?
1 year, yeah, June 9th.
Ah,
So there was a lot of events going on, and so I was out to a lot of shops. I was out with another photographer from my team, and we're on the train. I was blasting off some emails, and this white girl, sounded like she's from America, came over and started talking to him, and just like out of the blue. And she's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? What's your name?" And he tells her, and she's like, I hear her say her name is like Sister something something. Right? And I'm like, my curiosity peaked up. And she's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm a photographer." He's like, how about you?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm a missionary. I'm here teaching people about the love of their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ." And I'm like, I'm like, like, the idea to, there's very few things I find overtly offensive. Postulation of religion is one of them. Like people who actively go out and try to convert people to a different viewpoint or a different belief system really bothers me. And so I perk up and I turn, and the guy sees my reaction, and he's like, I got this. And he's just trying to be nice and let her be, like, let her talk. And she's like, "Oh, your English," his English is not that good. And she's like, and he knows that, right? And she's like, "Your English is so good. Have you been to America? Did you grow up overseas?" He's like, "No." Right? Like his English, like, we can speak, but it's like broken Thai, broken English. And so, like, she's just, like, sort of, like, working him a little bit. And then she's like, "Oh, she's like, I love teaching over here in Thailand and helping people find Jesus. And have you ever been to church?" And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, people find so much happiness through, accepting Christ into their life. Have you ever thought of that?" And he's
No.
like, "No." And right as she's about to say that, like, our train pulls up to our stop. I'm like, "All right, book, we gotta go." He's like, "Bye." And she's like, "Oh, would you like a Bible?" He's like, "No." But, like, I was like, oh, it's one of those things that, I don't know, it just really bothers me. Like to be actively out on the BTS trying to, like, convert
sounds
someone.
like a hard sell.
Very hard sell. And she was trying to honeypot him. Like they didn't send me, like someone who looks like me, to do this. They sent, like, 25-year-old young attractive women to do this. And yes, she was dressed very modestly, but she was incredibly attractive.
Wait, she's a sister?
Yeah.
Can she have a boyfriend?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I'm assuming
I don't
she's a
know.
nun.
Is there any rule for
I don't know the
that?
rules of those things, but her and the two girls she were with were incredibly, incredibly attractive. Incredibly attractive. So
Is there a new trend marketing for them?
maybe. I mean, it just feels kind of obnoxious. And, like, to me, again, like I said, talk about another assault. To me, that's a basically an assault on decency.
Maybe if, like, there's a guy look like Jason and asks if I can I convert? It's like, oh, I will think about it.
Stuck 33.3 before the storm came through in Florida.
Yeah, 33 is still better than here.
Yeah. What are we at, like 35 these days?
Not sure. Let me check.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, rainy season, we're getting some good ones right now in Bangkok.
Today 30.
Oh, only 30, so
we
stuck you
colder
were.
than stuck.
Yeah, we're colder than Florida.
Yow.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying the storms that we have right now.
Today we won't hit over 30. Oh no. The hottest time 31.
31. Oh, we got really behind on comments here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go through.
Oh yeah.
Hee hee.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, I agree. Joe must have
Yeah.
self-awareness for sure. Held at gunpoint in
What
San
is that?
Francisco. Gunpoint.
Hey,
Give me your money.
that's scary.
Actually, I saw a video.
Here, the worst case would be knife. Like, give me your wallet.
And then
That
that's when
thing-
you go
that
full
type.
Australian and say, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
No. Hey.
Actually, Maretta, I saw a video not that long ago of a wedding photographer in San Francisco at a park, a public park in San
Yeah.
Francisco, taking photos of the bride and groom.
Okay.
And someone rolled up with a gun, tried to steal his cameras, and he fought back and wouldn't give his cameras up.
That's scary.
And you think about like that's if you're a professional photographer, your cameras are your life, like that's your livelihood.
Lenses.
Yeah, I mean you're talking. He had two full frame. He had a double sling, two full frame cameras with two primes, one long, one medium, and so you're probably talking $300K baht minimum. And
So I used to
that's not
think.
even including like the SD cards and everything.
I used to think about like, okay, how much do I cost? Like, I mean, like everything that I have with me when I go out. So like the day that I bring iPad with me,
Yeah.
with my phone, with like other stuff, like sometimes with the like camera and phone thing. I think, oh my god, if they just like hit my hand and grab everything,
Yeah.
I will lose like at least like 50K
Yeah.
of everything. It's like, okay,
Sometimes I pack up my camera bag, we're talking,
yeah,
you know,
it's like crazy.
200, 300K.
It's like, shit,
Yeah.
that's bad.
So, Anti-Dana asked, would I sign up for a power slap? No, definitely not.
What is that?
Where they slap each other until someone passes out?
Shit, like that.
Definitely not.
No, I don't think that's like make any good to do that.
Joe, you finding them or they finding you?
Huh?
Hate the player, hate the game. The goal of financial elites is to squeeze us peasants to desperation. Many people will commit strong arm robbery to survive. You will own nothing and be happy, Klaus. Yeah, I mean, it's true. If you get to the point where those are your options, of course, like it's not a stretch to say like if you've got nothing, you would take something. What channel is it on? What channel? Did I miss something? Maybe. I'm kind of blasting through them here. Sorry. 88 Fahrenheit.
Oh no, talk about which
80%.
Chris.
Oh,
Yeah.
which
So-
was retired working for you, stuck. Chris from Retired Work From You, his daughter's the one
See,
who
there
got
are too many Chris.
a lot of Chris's. Oh, that. Yeah, I see it. Oh, that Chris.
See?
Yeah, so Chris Parker. He put out that video. I think it's titled like "My First Negative Video" is what it said. I think the thumbnail said "Robbed in Bangkok." So like I said, it's in the area where his daughter was robbed. I would have never thought
What
like
time was it?
late at like 3 a.m. But still, I would have thought Soy 15. I would have thought that.
Yes, but
Yeah.
let's say like just club just finished, people drink or even drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the target?
Yeah.
And if his daughter walk alone,
Yeah. True.
that's worse.
In Hawaii, there are some houseless communities that are very organized and consist mainly of working individuals or families, very safe. See, Hawaii always has a different vibe than the mainland, Keone, for sure. Jacksonville, Florida is worse than most cities, way worse than us. Wow, really? Jacksonville?
Is it
Hey, Seth, what's going on,
is it
man?
nice
Welcome,
city or
welcome.
what?
Jacksonville, he's saying it's worse.
I mean, like,
It's big.
was it like nice before it get worse, or it just always like this?
I remember Jacksonville as being like a nice area. I'm thinking like 30 years ago, though.
By the name, I feel like, oh, it sounds nice. Like,
So, Stuck, 30 years ago, was that a nice area?
so like with this name, make me feel of like individual house, like a wood house, painted white, and then you have like a what do you call it, porch or patio in the front with a rocking chair.
Yeah.
And you may have like the beagle dog run around.
Possible.
That type, does this name make me
Make
feel
you
like
feel like
it.
that.
So when
Picket-
he's
white
words like,
picket fence,
huh?
white picket fence, green yard, rocking
Something,
chair.
yeah, I feel like that with this name. I don't know.
Possible.
like-
Let's see. My best friend loved it when JWs came to Jehovah's Witnesses came to Press Eyes. He would talk to them for hours. He figured it kept them busy. Not if you got the time, that's a good way to do it.
What is JW?
Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't think we have them here.
No, we have.
Do we?
Because one of my colleagues, she really get into it.
Oh.
It's like, really? And she explained to me, and it's like, she didn't try to convert anyone. She just said she believed in this.
So
And-
Eric says he carries eight grand worth of camera equipment in my bag around the city. You have to take your chances. Yeah, for sure. When I'm going out to film, I mean, it's at least 10 to 15,000 US dollars worth of gear. When we go film an interview, for sure. Between audio, video, and lighting, easy. If I'm just out doing street photography though, my kit is $4 grand.
Is it?
Well, if I go out and shoot with Keone, his camera body alone is $4 grand.
Just tell me when you're gonna go with Keone with his Leica, and I will like
You'll come
wait at
and
a
rob
corner
him?
somewhere.
Your mask on with your glasses sticking out through it.
yeah, the pink mask.
In your OG auntie shirt. But yeah, like if I go like this is, you do have, like, I'm not gonna let fear of some, like, I don't know if I would necessarily take my camera out in San Francisco if they're holding people up at gunpoint. Maybe though.
That's scary.
But at the same time, yeah, like I don't, if I go out to shoot, I don't care about like taking my gear out, because I also don't think I'm gonna get robbed, Eric, for sure. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about. I mean, we, as photographers, we put a lot of money into the equipment for our craft, as you're saying, right? At least $8 grand. So, it's like 250K baht.
Okay, I will walk with you, Eric.
So, but I mean, like, we do put a lot of money into the equipment for this
I know,
craft.
but here
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that carry the more expensive gear
True.
than you and much smaller than you. Why? They're gonna like spend their energy to
Well,
rob you.
I think a lot of people who are robbing they're not looking at cameras and realizing, Keone's got a Leica, that guy's only got a Fuji. They're like, hey, a camera's a camera. I can sell it for
Okay.
1,000 baht.
Okay.
Or they're not looking at Keone being like, hey, that's a vintage Canon lens that's been retrofitted to fit a Leica. I want that. That's, priceless.
Oh,
No,
okay,
they're
okay.
like, they see, and, to the untrained eye too, something like a Leica fits in your hands, right? It's very small by comparison to my Fuji with a grip, right? So someone might just see bigger and think better. Whereas, like, let's say, like, by the same token, let's say I'm holding my FX3 cinema camera, and someone sees that versus the Fuji, they might think the Fuji's the more expensive camera because it's physically larger.
So like, is it how much for the Fuji that you gave me? Is that bad?
No, your Fuji, less than $1,000. Listen, is I
Okay.
think I got your body on sale. Normally it's like almost 40. I think it's 38, and I got it for like 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm careful with that.
But yeah, I 100% agree with you, Eric. 100% agree that I'm not gonna let that. I'll still be careful. Like I said, I might not go around San Francisco if there are areas known for being robbed at gunpoint, but I'm not gonna let fear of those things stop me from getting the shots I want to get. And I often throw $15,000 US worth of camera gear on the back of my motorcycle and ride around. So, take that for what it is. Last 10 years, Jacksonville's been getting steadily worse. Ooh. Like I said, I remember as a kid just like hearing about it. I remember it being like a decent area. But yeah, 10 years. Jehovah Witness everywhere, including Thailand. Yeah, guys, thank you, Joe. This is Chris's video. Again, I don't even think it's a negative video about Thailand. I think it's
Just what
a
happened
stark
here.
warning that this, as safe as Bangkok is, as safe as Thailand is, nothing is 100% in this world. You hear about cars following you and they pull a gun on you. It's wow.
Yeah.
This is San Francisco. San Francisco used to be seen as like
no.
the ideal place to live.
So how can you go out and get like grocery like when this thing happened? Or go out to work.
Yeah.
You have to worry about like when you come home as you go to work and you
Yeah.
walk back home alone. Will anything happen to you? It's like oh man,
Yeah.
wow,
Scary stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Think about like if we woke up early, almost every morning and go out to school like
Yeah.
before 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad Thailand is not San Francisco. A Mormon missionary came to a Native American friend of mine, told him how they found the golden tablets in the U.S., and he promptly told them to return it to him because it's gold. Gold is a native property. That's amazing. So Mormons believe someone found these golden tablets that had like messages from God, and the Native American said, "Oh, return it, because gold is a native property. It belongs to the native people." When some U.S. states basically decriminalize petty theft, it's like it feels like the purge is like in full effect in some states. That's why my husband and I cannot wait for sure, Martha. I'm no doubt you are counting the days. I know Joe's 40 days until he's here. He posted that earlier, like before we even started the live chat. He posted 40 days. 40 days until Joe's finally in Thailand. Just need a bigger gun.
no.
Is pepper spray legal in Thailand? I'm all about the 2A. Not yet. Is pepper spray? I don't know. I've never seen it.
There's like someone sell it online. I think.
Like I've seen it online, but I've never like even the tactical shops. I don't see it. But I have a friend who has some, so I should ask Baki where he got it. Yeah.
Do not give it to me because you know how messed up my bag is. I'm not gonna able to find it before I can use it.
Yeah. I gave Jam a high-powered LED keychain last night. I gave it to her last night.
Oh, thank you.
And so basically, like, so bright, if she shined it, you would stun like someone like real quick, and be able to get away.
Did you see her keychain yet?
No.
With the big Kuma thing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What happened to the one with the spikes that I gave you? The kitty with the spiked ears.
I think I passed it to Jem.
Oh, okay.
Again, if I have to reach into my bag, try to find it, I just use my hand to finish
Hey,
it.
Eric, true. You get fond of your gear, right? Like I love my Fuji film. It's something nice about it. Hey Neil, only if you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Not someone who's untrained, who doesn't know, would say only a Fuji. Compared to a Leica. But I shoot nothing but Fuji. I love it for photo. I mean, it's those knobs on the top. Something about it. Just something about a Fuji for sure.
And it's good to take a photo for a mural.
Yeah,
The color is very bright.
Yeah, that particular simulation, film simulation.
All teachers love it.
Yeah.
It's like, how much is it? They will like save the money
That's
to
the
get
most
a new one.
expensive Fuji there is, or was at the time. But yeah, so not only a Fuji. You're right. But I love shooting with that camera. It's just so good.
It was Canon.
I used to shoot Canon, and when I made the switch to Fuji, I used to have full frame Canons that I shot photo and video with. When Canon switched their mounts, and then I was unimpressed with the first generation of the new mount.
Oh.
And that's when I had already kind of I wasn't buying lenses for a couple of years because I had what I needed for my basic kit. I knew they were going to change to a mirrorless mount. So I shot Canon when they were DSLRs, and I had a couple of 5Ds. And when the new mount came out, I was unimpressed with the first couple cameras, and so made the switch to Fuji for photo and Sony for video, and never looked back. But yeah, Canon was okay to shoot. Frank, I walk around with 10 G's worth of Frank when I go walking around the city. I leave the rest at home because I can't risk losing $10,000 worth of yourself. Leave the rest of yourself at home, Frank.
So funny, Frank.
Jacksonville is like most places. Certain neighborhoods are worse than others, but I think for the last 3 years it's been the murder capital of Florida.
Oh yeah.
That's why I don't have branding on most of my cameras. People don't know what the camera is for the most part. It's true. Joe, the Leica is pretty like subtle branding as well. Not Tampa anymore. Bad as it is in SF, and it is bad. I still, I haven't been back. Last time I was in San Francisco, 2016, my last trip to the U.S. Definitely, I had a good time, but I definitely saw some stuff that made me think like not somewhere I want to go back to. So. Like when I remember being out with my friend, I have a friend who we actually lived together in Boston for a while, and he's lived in San Francisco for the past 20 years now, and he took me out, and we were walking back from dinner, and this woman squatted against a wall on the sidewalk and just took a shit.
What?
Like out in the open.
You don't have a public toilet?
And she just stopped, dropped her pants around her ankle, pulled her shirt up, put her back against the wall, and was just dropping a hot,
She
steamy...
even squat by herself.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, what the... And my friend's like, yeah, it's not uncommon.
Ew.
Yeah.
Here in Bangkok, it's going to be like a guy pees to the wall, like a... When you walk to the road,
I've
like,
seen that, yeah.
Sometimes it smell bad. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it cannot be like main road.
I often, if you drive past a Windstop and you look down any of the alleys next to the Windstop,
Yeah.
you will undoubtedly see a Wind taking a leak. Motorcycle taxi driver. So Moretta says if anyone's wearing a high-end watch like a Rolex or Patek, you're bound to get robbed in broad daylight.
Yeah, it's expensive watch.
Funny enough, one of the reasons I hated being on the res is because they were hardcore. Really? They insisted you go to church on the reservation. Wow. Wow. She's saying I think she's saying person going to the bathroom is normal. So much going on. Yeah, it's so crazy. If they can pick up my camera and run more than 20 meters, they can.
Why?
Chris used to work with the IMAX film cameras.
So it's big, right?
Like hundreds of kilos. Yeah.
I think you can.
To run with it, like you said, more than 20 meters.
Can you?
It'd probably take me longer to pick it up than to start and get running with it. It's wild to think about. Wild to think about the state that things are in. I think ultimately though how fortunate we are to be here in Bangkok, where despite nowhere is perfect. I mean, I'd much rather be here than anywhere else. So very grateful for that. With that, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're going to have a short one today, simply because my son is here in town, and we want to do some stuff with him. And I do have an audition to go to as well early afternoon. So we're going to hit the audition, and then we're taking him out to Old Town. So going to wrap it up an hour today. Maybe we can convince him to come on the podcast next weekend and talk a little bit. We'll see. He said he doesn't like live streams, but maybe we can convince him. He can.
You can't even convince Jem.
Yeah, true. We'll
2
see.
years, she's still not in here.
We'll see. But thank you everyone for rocking with us today. As always, we really appreciate it. All you guys coming through, hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.